going, Bob? What's going
Yeah.
on? I've never in my life have been emotional over politics. Mav, I'm telling you,
Really?
this morning, I was like, oh, trying to like hold out hope in my head, like, we lived through like Reagan and Nixon, and we were all fine. No, we weren't. No, we weren't. We were not fine during them.
It was not fine. Right.
Nope. And I'm sitting here as a black woman in
Yeah.
Georgia. I'm like, oh no, I might not be able to like, I don't know. I want to say I'm sounding dramatic, but I called up my mom and my sister, and you know it's bad when they're all like, God got us, God is king.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah.
My mom-
When Jesus is being called out to.
Right, and they like they're religious, but like they're not like that kind of religious. So I know when they start saying stuff like that, I'm like, yep, God wins every time. I was like, I literally texted my mom and said, God must have been on vacation because ain't no way he let this happen.
Ain't no way. Not at all.
Yeah,
It's
I was the
crazy.
one in your Discord saying I was moving to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yup.
Congrats.
Oh yeah, we're
Freedom.
we're gonna try. We gotta we gotta get up out of here. ASAP, no Rocky. Period, no tampon. But you're a therapist, so like if anyone else is feeling the same way, just understand. Put the alcohol down, okay? Because if you go into liver failure, you won't be able to afford it. Because healthcare is not gonna be a thing no more. So chill out.
Very true.
Put the vape down. Y'all need to start taking care of your bodies as best you can.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Breathe.
Yeah.
And pray that he will leave office in 4 years.
And right, and that's honestly, and it's crazy that I'm like worried about that, but that's literally what's going on here. Yeah. Yeah.
Now my only thing
That's where
is,
we're at.
so like a lot of people they just didn't know that like, so they're like, oh yeah, we did really good under Trump because our economy, lower prices, rada. All of that stuff was half because COVID and stuff naturally going to drop those things down, and the other half is because there's a lot of stuff put in place by the previous president, and he was kind of riding that wave, which has been said over and over and over again in all these debates. So what I'm hoping is maybe there's not like, I feel like a lot of people are making out to be like, oh, day one, it's everything is going to crap, Handmaid's Tale, like it's over, right? But I feel like wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'm asking a question. So like, wouldn't it be like he's gonna ride like whatever Biden tried to put in place during these 4 years? And when he takes office, he might just be riding off of that. Because Trump's tax plan don't end till next year, which is why everyone's saying like, oh, taxes are terrible, because they think I really do.
I do too.
But yeah, we're breathing. I mean, we're appropriately freaking out, but also not being crazy. We're just like, all right, breathe. Let's take this, make our plan, and do what we need to do. Call your loved ones. Make sure they good. Make sure you eat today.
Yeah, fair. No, that one's important too.
Yeah.
Like take care of yourself physically. I was literally talking to my wife earlier. I was like, don't let this guy steal your appetite. Like,
oh yeah, and drink some Pedialyte, y'all.
seriously.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, prayers to you. Oh, hopefully y'all can get out. But yeah. I'll talk to you later, Matt.
Thanks a lot, dude. Have a good one.
Course.
All right, we'll see who's next. And yeah, people are like, accept the reality. Yeah, I'm not accepting what's going on. I don't think that he's going to be riding by Biden's policies. I think that he's just going to be doing the whole getting rid of all of his policies and all that stuff. So, is that what's important to you guys? Just making money? Texas girl, for example. Anyway, what's up?
Yo, you kind of are not accepting reality because that's not the prompt you got on the screen. It's not going to be anything like that. Do you agree?
What prompt do I have? It just says it's just a picture of Trump. And it says now what? What is?
Yeah, and it's kind of inciting like chaos, no?
Eh, I mean, for a lot of people, yeah.
Okay,
Maybe for some
be
people, this
bold with
just
a
means
claim.
like
Make it
nothing,
be
like
forward
business
with a
as
claim.
usual. But for some people, it means a lot of things are going to be different.
Okay, like what? Do you have an actual claim here, or are you just kind of like
One actual, like, do I have any actual like positions or thoughts or
you
ideas?
just like fear mongering or whatever? Fear mongering. You're just trying to make
No, I
people
don't think
scared
I'm
shitless.
fear mongering. I'm like actually thinking about like the actual like practical concerns about like, for
Name a
example,
couple.
like women's reproductive health, for example.
Okay, did you see how they voted on it?
Who voted for what?
Like there were like 10 states that had abortion policies they all voted on.
Correct. Yeah,
So
which is
how you
cool.
what's wrong with how they voted?
But I'm saying there are still states where they don't have those anymore because the what's that called? The Supreme Court has been shifted and voted against Roe v. Wade. So
Yeah, so I think
and
there's like
that for example has like killed people. Like
so
people
there's
are
like
dead because
two
of
low
that.
population states that said like no exceptions. I think what Iowa or something. Do you
And
have like what? How did do you know how the votes swang specifically?
the votes swang specifically.
You know how
Like
Iowa
the
voted
votes
on
for what?
abortion? I'm pretty sure they had some pretty tight policies voted.
Yeah, I mean no. No one has died because of abortion laws. That's a lie. That's 100% a lie.
So
What do you
what
mean?
what do you have wrong with how Trump's 4 years went 16 to 20?
What do I have wrong with how Trump's years went 16 to 20? Is probably one of the significant factors. I'll just talk like let's just that is one thing.
How does he divide? He's pretty uniting.
I'm
74
actually
people.
curious. Can you come up
74
with
million
anything?
people.
Can you think for a couple seconds of any positions that you think?
I'm saying overall, as a figure, he brought
Yeah.
together 74 million people and won an election. And in the
Okay, so
last
there's that.
or
So
71
in
million
those
and
senses,
74 million in
sure,
2016.
sure. But best, can you use your brain to think about a way that Trump's language has been divisive for America?
All right, I got to take this call, bro. Peace.
Yeah. Yep. You know, number one, if you're impeached, uh, the bar is so low. Yeah. Um, anyway, uh, Trump's sarcasm. I mean, I wish that some of the things he said was sarcastic.
Feel like as like our country has been brought together and we're looking past race a lot now on the fact that she was a black woman coming into office. Now there's nothing wrong with that, obviously,
Okay.
but solely off of the fact that she is a woman of color, you know? Oh yeah, of course, of course,
So I
of
think
course.
that's one of the reasons. Like, yeah, the woman is probably a
Oh yeah,
large reason why she's not
but there's
elected,
other
for
issues to
example.
look at when we look at this too.
Oh, absolutely,
Oh, for sure.
absolutely.
It's really a line of ethics and just
Ethics?
logic, you know?
What
Because
ethics and logic? Out of curiosity.
um so there's issues that you need to handle more in a logical sense and look at it, you know? Like
Okay.
abortion is more of an ethical issue. if
Why is that not
yeah, a
logical?
woman's, huh?
Like, why is that not logical? Like, protect women's, like,
Oh
protect
yeah, no,
women.
there's
Like, if
logic to it too, but I'm saying it's more of an
yeah,
ethical issue because you're dealing
okay,
with life here. You're dealing with life.
all
The
right.
woman's life is important, but
More health, desperately needing healthcare.
oh
Like,
yeah, for sure.
so for example, it doesn't seem like you actually care about, like, not you, but that position does not actually care about less
Yeah,
people dying. It cares about babies being born, which is very different from people not dying. Do you agree or
mhm.
disagree?
Yeah, no, I do agree, and in the
Okay,
sense that like if the mother's life is at danger, that's a great reason for an abortion to happen, you know.
right.
Oh, and yes,
And
healthcare is
but some
very
people
important
disagree with
too.
that, and some people,
Yes,
right.
I'm a majority Trump supporter, but a lot of the issues that he has, I don't agree with. Like a lot of the way he handles some issues, I don't agree with.
Okay, I mean, I like for yeah. I mean, I would say that there are probably people who voted for Kamala who
Look,
doesn't agree with
not all
everything that he
humans are
did.
perfect, but we can only go with the best option that we see fit,
And
you
what
know?
makes him the best option? Like, what makes his, like, for example, like, he is pretty clearly very sexist, for
Well, it's
example.
truly all
Like, what makes
opinionated,
that,
right?
what makes that
It's
good or better, for example?
it truly is opinionated, right?
Like, his
Because
sexism
if
is
humans
opinionated? His sexism?
sexism,
Are you being serious?
sexism. I'm
Donald
not saying
Trump's
that's. I'm
sexism.
saying no. I'm saying our outlook on people is opinionated.
Correct.
Now
But
he's
Donald Trump's
yeah yeah
sexism has
yeah
been
yeah.
well documented.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we can make
Yeah,
a very logical, educate, not a guess, a clear statement based off of his behavior, his statements, and his beliefs. So,
I
like,
could see that.
he is a sexist. So, what is better about voting for a sexist? Because, like, are you going to say his financial policies that makes it good enough to ignore his sexism? Is that what you would say, for example?
I'm not saying we should ignore his sexism, but what I'm saying is,
Then why would you vote for a
as a
sexist?
okay,
Like, have a
economy
sexist
is.
run the country and like have a sexist have his interests, for example, be
It's
involved
not
in like
like he's going
the
to.
rights of women.
It's not like he's going to make it worse for a woman to get by. Maybe he's making it difficult for a woman to make decisions.
Which for a woman to
But
get
yes,
by
yes,
if
yes.
she can't make decisions about her own body. You see how that would be tough to do? To live your life if you can't make decisions about your own fucking body? Like, that'd be
Sure.
pretty hard, in my opinion. Doesn't seem like you respect women very much. You know what I mean? If you don't want
Me?
them to have full freedom of their own bodies.
I mean,
But I could be wrong.
we don't.
Maybe you
Okay.
like deeply respect women and don't want them to have the choice. Like, somehow that makes sense to
Look,
you.
I just look off of the point of like, yes, I want women to have their rights, and yes, success to women. You know, all that. Um, but it's like I just get very teeter tottery when it comes to abortion. You know,
Which I think makes sense. I
which
think
is
it,
which is
it, it
which does
triggers a
make
lot of
sense.
people's
You know?
feelings.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, but I think that like you like what you said, I think makes a lot of sense when we're thinking about keeping people alive. for example, I think having abortion laws like solidified in place and protected keeps
Yes.
more adult humans
So
alive.
I would say that having it on a federal, like having it managed on a federal level might be a little bit, might be a little bit better than having it managed on a state level because
I agree.
the states can really be very radical about the way they handle the situation. Like Florida, Trump said himself that their complete ban for those months was very, very harsh. Very harsh. And it
Yeah, but
is.
it's like, but for example, Trump was like, he was like, I would like to give the states the power to make those awful choices, and he
Yeah.
advocated for that. And then now he's like, oh no, they made the bad choice, but he was like, he set it up so that they could
Yeah,
make
I
that
could see
choice.
where that's wrong.
So that's a little bizarre. Like
Mm,
he's acting like he
I
cares,
hope
but
that
he
he sees the
clearly
mistake there, and I
it
hope he
doesn't really
fixes
seem to
it, you
actually
know?
care.
I hope he sees the mistake there, and I hope he fixes it.
He Why would he? His entire political party has backed him up on this, has encouraged him to do this. Why would he change his mind? Like they love him for that.
Do that?
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't like I'm like maybe it's like different types of communities of Trump like Trump
Oh yeah,
voters and stuff like that.
no, for sure. There's the really, really, really far right people who are like again, who are completely conservative, who don't care about any freedoms. They just want to go back to traditional America. And there's the people that are kind of like in the mix who
Overall, he's a
I
relatively I think inciting uh like I said, insightful, like divisive figure.
I got
And I
you.
feel like that's pretty clear. And that is one
Mhm.
of my major concerns. Like for example, I was talking to someone today
It
and
can
I
be
just said it was
bad and
nice
it
to have
can
a
be good.
president that is not as obsessed with attention as Trump is. It's very attention to it because like it's just like annoying.
Yeah.
Um
That's also me media's fault because they publicize the
no, I
hell
also
out
think
of
that
it,
it's his
you know?
narcissism. Like he
Yeah.
created his
Yeah,
own he created what is it, Truth
he does
Social.
have an ego.
He's
He
obsessed.
does bad things, you know. All right.
We'll
Good
wait.
night
Thanks
talking
a
to
lot.
you. Nice day.
All right. Someone said get some ladies up in here, so we'll get some ladies. in the chat, in the whatever.
Hi, are you? But
Right.
I think,
Okay.
and so mother of now it's a question of what now,
Hmm.
and abortion done. There are places that are that on there from all backgrounds. There are women talking about situations that they have been in, and it is it is a different experience being in a whole room full of 20 other women who are all there for the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Republicans, so vulnerable in that state where you're like, just let you do it. In fact, if you have anxiety and you have high blood pressure, they'll actually refuse you an abortion. A lot of people don't know that. If you are not, if you don't meet the requirements and they don't feel like it's safe, they will reject you. And I don't think that
Right.
people take that into consideration. But all medical complications. I've had an aunt who, if we had these, she had babies after. HELP syndrome shuts down your organs. These are things that are not being considered. And I think my biggest fear right now is the fact that if we are to put on morals and tie them to religion and you know what I mean? You can't force someone to have the same morals. Is it still moral?
Their love of God wasn't real. Like, it's a very similar thing. The choice, or is it just some false sense of morality that none of these people are projecting?
Or people at McCain's rallies would say, you know, I'm scared. I fear that Obama is an evil man, and McCain, his own opponent, is backing him up. Everything just feels so dirty, so nasty, and inhuman. So I think it feels extra dark just for the sense that times are different and we're acting different. There's a lot more fear, a lot more vulnerability. And so, I mean, we'll have to take what's happening because that's how we've always had to do it. We will go on, we will carry on. But
Oh, yeah.
I do hope that over time we can get over the whole, you know, cry liberal thing because there's just so much more to this. I think a little bit more compassion about people that are in situations. It needs to be considered. You can't make someone live the way that you want them to live. It defeats the purpose of a free country of free will. It defeats the purpose of our liberty, what we fought for. So this is a huge turning point into America. But I just wanted to add in a woman as a mother, a perspective in this.
Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate you sharing this from the heart, and just like your heartfelt like opinions and perspectives, how this has impacted your perspective. Yeah, it's pretty tragic to see, but like you said, you know, we'll figure it out as we always have done. But that fear that's going on right now is obviously pretty loud, and fear is a strong emotion. We respond strongly to those types of strong emotions, so we feel very much the fears. And I think that, I don't know, the things that people are fearing are sometimes like progress and like being open to different types of people or something like that.
And there's two doors here
Yeah.
when it comes to fear. You know, it's either fear, you're going to run away and hide because you don't want to see what lies ahead. But I think fear in this situation, and I hope that someone can take this to heart and really try to do something productive with it. But fear is just a feeling. And that should be your moment where you're like, no, this is where I should keep going, not back away. Fear is just reminding us that it's unknown and that's scary, but that's not a reason to stop moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I will actually have to get back to work, but
Thank you so
I
much.
just wanted to chime in. Love what you're doing. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Not keep moving forward. It's just one of those things, and it's yeah. And I'm gonna be the first person to say that I would be laughing at Republicans and being like, haha, loser, because I'm a human and we like to gloat. So I don't feel, I, yeah, I don't feel like bad about that. And I do think that the consideration for how I think people's lives might significantly change in these areas, interested. Like I always like to say that. I like to say that, yeah. Mafia. I also think that that was a large part of it. I do think that I think that like there's one end of it is I think that a lot of people didn't vote at all, and then you had the people who were not going to vote for Trump and would have voted for Kamala, but are were like disturbed by her lack of kind of clear position against the genocide in Gaza. So like I personally think that that's a significant reason. I don't know if it is for a fact. Like I don't know if the data might come out. So like yeah, 30 million Democrats didn't show up. Like that makes a lot of sense. I'm not saying that all of them are for that reason. I'm sure plenty of them are for some other types of reasons, but I wonder if that's a significant portion. What's up?
Hey, yes, I woke up this morning a bit surprised. I won't
Yeah,
lie. Probably go down the way it did go down. I didn't expect it to be so decidingly, right?
I think that too. I think that I was hoping for a little bit more of a fight. I didn't know, so that was a
Right,
bummer.
right.
I
And let
wasn't
me just say, I'm a
surprised that he won, but it was
62-year-old woman. I'm 62
yeah.
years old when Roe v. Wade was
Wow.
adopted.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so
God,
I
dude, that's crazy.
remember I wasn't old, but
Dude,
I was cognizant of what was going down
yeah, of what that meant, at least a
pre-Roe.
little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I've I've been fighting my entire life to make sure that women are not considered hysterical. I have 2 degrees. That's neither here nor there. But I remember sitting in my graduate class, international studies. I studied politics, and I remember my professor saying to the 3 women in the class, saying, "I don't know why you're here. You just need to get married and have children." Okay, that was a very real thing, and there were 2 of us who were from the States. One was a Canadian, and we were dumbfounded. I remember in 1986, when I got married, I could not, even though I had a full time teaching job, I could not get a credit card without my husband's signature.
Holy shit.
No, that's true. That's true.
I know. I'm just like it's just that
Uh,
just was so recent. Like that's crazy.
It's true. I mean, and I think many of us in this age group, I kind of border between Gen X and Boomer.
Gotcha.
I'm
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
last point of that, so I kind of float between the two. But I'm just here to tell women, and more than anything, I saw. Um, Look, I voted for Obama in
Mm-hmm.
both years. I've only voted Democrat, and not because I'm just um, that's just a really and truly they represent my value set,
Right. Yeah, just more
historically
closely.
speaking.
Right.
Okay, so I've only voted Democrat, occasionally a Republican. You know, I grew up in the Reagan years, Carter years, lived
Okay.
overseas, saw a lot of things, worked for the CIA when I graduate undergrad, was a systems analyst, you know, for Central America during the time of the Sandinistas. So I've been around the block. I am just, what floors me this year is, and not just men, not just Latino men, not just Black men. I am just so shocked by the fact that more than race, it really is about um, a female
That's what
being
I was
elected.
saying. That's what I was saying. And I said this like
Yeah,
2 months
it and Hillary, she had a lot of baggage. Granted, uh,
ago.
actually, it was mostly due to her being a very strong first lady, wading into the pool of what some folks would have said you have no business being. So we had no problem with a Black male. What we do have a problem with is a female. Kamala was more than qualified, more than able to take over the. I will say about the Democratic Party, this is not on her, is that they fail, and I'm 28, they're 28 to 37.
Okay.
They all had an issue. And I have to say, I'm scratching my head, which I think a lot of Latinos were as well, even though it's against their best interest. But at the end of the day, I grew up I was living in England when Maggie Thatcher was prime minister.
Okay.
And I didn't like her, not because she
Yeah.
was female. I didn't like her politics. I didn't like her politics at the time. But I will have to say that every other industrialized country has recognized that women do have a
Yeah.
certain je ne sais quoi. They can run a country and they can run it very well,
Right.
and they can run it equally as strong as any kind of male counterpart. What I don't understand about this country, and again, I've I've worked my way through, right? And I've been teaching off and on. I'm also an artist. So
Okay.
I'm out there. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm also giving back into the community with teaching, because quite
Yeah.
frankly,
Seriously.
they don't pay me to do that,
Yeah.
right?
Wow. Mm-hmm.
But um, this country has to wake up to the fact that it's very sexist. It
Thank
is,
you.
those
Thank you.
sexual stereotypes are stronger than anything.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just flabbergasted, really,
Mm.
because I don't know. I mean, we have to get beyond this. I hear, oh, just emotional. You don't like her laugh. I actually found her to be refreshing. I don't want to see a stern scowl every time
Right.
I look
Yeah.
at someone.
It was like very, very, very human. Like
Yeah,
is the
she is
vibe that I
very
got.
human. She's
Yeah.
very in touch. And I don't understand this country at all, except for the fact that I will say that I think there is a strong feeling the more that DEI has been present in this country since its inception. Okay.
Okay.
If you are a white male, you had You didn't have to work as hard as anyone else. You were given the benefit of the doubt. And now, and my male children, you don't understand. You, by just your birth, being born a white male, and I'm also indigenous, so, but they don't look like me.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't called that. You were given the benefit of the doubt just based on your skin color. And, you know, there's only one race, it's the human race. So I go back to the 15th century and the Spanish Inquisition, which was all wrapped in Catholicism. Before the 14th, 15th century, you did not have race mentioned
Mm.
in any
Oh,
way.
absolutely.
And we can go to sexism the same way, you know? But this country, until it gets over its fear of women going to college, outperforming, we know what it's like to have to do it 3 times better, 10 times better.
Exactly. Right.
We know that. So I'm just, man, I have one daughter, and I'm like, wow, I don't, and as far as the AB word is concerned,
Yeah.
man, you know, you had a problem. The same people who want to force that and want to make decisions for females
Right.
are the same people who didn't want to take a shot in the arm for COVID.
Seriously.
I mean,
Seriously.
so
Which is crazy.
you know, I don't even know where I'm going to go from here because I'm like, we just took 10 steps back.
Yeah.
10 steps back, and maybe more. I don't know, but I've been fighting my entire life as an educated, hardworking. I was a single mom for 15 years with 5 children. I don't get this. You know, my grandfathers.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I I'm trying to I'm putting on my Bob Marley so I can have one love because I do care about other people, even the people who voted for him. But man, I'm disappointed. But then again, I do know women have grown up in the same sexist structure. It really is. And women
Yeah.
can be every bit as sexist as men when it comes right down to it, as well as, you know, I live in a predominantly African American community and I see it as well with them.
Mm-hmm.
So and it doesn't compute in some ways, but then going up in that system. So it's really, really hard to buck that system. You know, it's really hard to step outside of that system that you have been groomed in. And I hate to use that word because I know that's a SA term, right? But
Yeah.
it is a form of grooming. And that there are still people in the trenches that are going to fight for this. And it's not over until it's over, right?
That's good.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So I appreciate your letting me come on.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing.
Yeah, I just, I too am in a bit of shock, not necessarily by the results, but by the who are of color
Yeah.
who
Yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
just voted against um, their own interest.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully, hopefully I'm speaking for some other people.
Sounds good.
I don't know. I don't know. All right. Cheers. I
Yeah,
thank you for
thanks a
this
lot.
opportunity and
Absolutely.
I follow you. Okay.
Have a good
Cheers.
one. Thanks a lot.
You too. Bye bye.
Someone said it in the chat. Chickens for KFC. We're gonna pin it for like 2 seconds, but yeah, that is the energy that we're dealing with right now. Is chickens for KFC type of energy. Like, I don't get it. Obviously, I don't get it in a lot of ways. I don't get it when I see like someone sent me this video of these girls singing "Real Women Vote for Trump," and it's in my yeah. I'm like, you have any self-respect? I'm like, it's kind of one of those things that I look at this and I'm like, when people tell you who they are, just believe them. So, you know, um, and I'm having a tough time because there's so many different things that I feel like happened with this election. I think that it reflects a couple of things. I think that America hates, and I'm using a strong word, and I think it's for a reason, but hates women, hates gender nonconforming people. And I think that this election really, I think, really made that pretty clear. And one of the reasons why I said that, I made a video about this a little bit. Yeah, I did. It's my they them Trump ad video where it's like I two people were very very for example. Um, yeah. Okay. I think that you were actually here for.
Hello. Is next if you want to.
Okay.
Since we actually know Donald Trump's policies, so we can actually speak on what might happen. So in the next 100 days, we are going to have a deportation of illegal immigrants, that cause crime. Okay. The next step is closing the border. The third step, lower inflation. Wars that are
How
happening
are you
right
gonna do
now.
that? Like, how are you gonna do that?
Huh?
Like, how are you gonna lower? Like,
Through
I'm
smart
like,
negotiations.
and so what smarts in your negotiation does Trump have that didn't exist, for example? Like, what other tactics could
So,
they use?
okay.
You,
A handshake. Can't even answer a question without. So she's gonna go to Putin. I'm from a middle class family, so in our middle class family, we didn't do violence, and we should not have violence. So therefore, we should stop it. That's not gonna work, right? So yeah. So
wait,
Trump's
wait,
just as
wait, wait,
strong
wait,
a
wait, wait,
leader,
wait.
and he knows what
Wait,
he's talking about.
the lawyer is the one who could not make a deal, is what you're saying? Just want to make sure. reiterate that.
What lawyer?
Lawyer.
Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
I mean, the same lawyer, the same lawyer that can't answer a question. Yeah, her.
But that is a problem of politicians. Like, I could say the same of Donald Trump. Like, and I watch it all the time. But I think that is a politician's answer. That's how politicians behave. But she's a lawyer.
We
so
as a country,
she has like
we as a country have been burdened by what has been. We have been burdened by what has been, right? And we're trying to move, forward, right? Country. So we have to go back, right? Then we can move forward.
Go back to what?
And let me ask you a question. What do you think Kamala Harris would have done for? What do you think?
At least advocated for it strongly. At the very least, done that.
Oh, just advocating. You don't think Trump cares about women? He has a daughter.
That doesn't. He has talked sexually about his daughter. He doesn't care. Like, he made sexual comments about his daughter.
Oh, really?
I don't care about anything he says.
Oh, really?
Disgusting sexist. Like.
So, do you know what TDS is? I think. You know what TDS is?
Mm-mm.
Trump derangement syndrome. I think you have a little bit of it. So,
which is fine.
Trump has daughters, right? He has a wife.
And like daughters who he's talked sexually about, which I think is disturbing. Like, any man.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. No. He might have called them beautiful. I mean, they are.
No.
Objectively, like. So you're dodging the question. So do you think Kamala Harris would have, done anything for like AB rights?
I literally 20% women. I need my daughter. What does it mean to date someone? What does it mean to date someone?
So are you saying you have to be, you have to, have sex to be in a relationship?
You do not have to, but the majority of the public in America who date would have sex with their partners.
Okay,
so
but you're kind of like pivoting,
infer,
right? So listen.
I'm not pivoting. I'm talking about sexism, which I feel like is really important.
All right. So,
for example.
Okay, cool. So none of this matters, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. He's the president. Well, he's the president, and it wouldn't have mattered 3 days ago, but he's the president now. I mean, so what? He's a president. He can't change anything. So I'm just asking, like, what would have Kamala Harris done for women?
Has talked about Ivanka Trump's breasts, her backside, and what it might be like to have sex with her.
Okay, are you gonna demoralize it or like? Right. Exactly. So, okay. So, less people would support her abdicating because she lost the election by 20 million votes, I think. So, or less than that, 5 million votes. All right, boss man, how you doing? Hey, pretty good. Can I get some sweet and sour? Because, you know, I got money to spend. All right, boss man. All right, have a good one. Have a good day, Chief. Yeah. See, I get shown love everywhere I go. That's crazy, isn't it? Except when I go to these Democratic panels, right? That's funny.
Just because the most thing that I've said right now today is that Trump is pretty sexist and his rhetoric is not like unifying. It's
I think
pretty
his rhetoric
divisive.
is great. His rhetoric is like, we're gonna make America great again. We're gonna be able to afford everything, and
So like,
it's like a positive rhetoric.
So for example, so can I form comments referring to rumors of Haitians eating pets on the streets? Vile, xenophobic comments?
Wait, what was that?
Do you remember when on the presidential debate stage, Donald Trump made references to Haitian
Oh yeah,
immigrants
catching dogs
consuming
because it's
pets?
happening. Yeah,
Correct.
it's true.
It was not actually happening. And that type of rhetoric
All right, so
creates
you're ignoring
an
the
actual
911
lack
calls.
of
You're
safety,
ignoring.
creates an actual lack of safety for real human beings like my
Are you
parents
from
who are
Colorado?
Haitian immigrants. Like, I'm a child of Haitian immigrants. My parents are dangerous
What about
dog
Venezuelan
eaters.
gangs taking over apartment complexes? You agree?
The gangs taking. I think that. The gangs taking. I think that gangs are not a good thing generally. But for example, to make derogatory comments about immigrants is xenophobic, and Trump has done that. Clearly, he does not.
It's not the point,
about that.
right? It's not the point of eating.
Why is that not the point?
It's not a point of eating. Okay, are you done? So it's not the point of eating cats and dogs, right? It's the point that we have people here that are disrupting Americans' day-to-day activities.
Okay, so for example, when my parents came to America, did they disrupt America's day-to-day activities by their existing? No, I'm pretty sure that's a thing under not international law. America is required to offer asylum to refugees. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I could be wrong though.
Just depends, right?
I'm pretty sure it's illegal to deny asylum
it depends,
to a refugee.
right?
I don't that's what I am aware.
So you're saying anybody can just go to the border and say I'm coming from asylum, and we have
they
to
can
let
say
them in?
yes. Hello, this is Canada. I would like to get asylum. Like, I'm pretty sure this is America. I would like to have asylum. I'm pretty sure that's
how Canada? That's crazy.
So, like, you can do that in Canada, and I'm pretty sure you can do that in America. My parents personally came for different reasons.
So, do you support all immigration? Do you think we should have borders?
Do I think that we should have borders? Oh my god. That we have open borders. Do you understand how difficult it is to become a citizen? Like, we don't have open borders. There's a lot of immigrants here, sure. We do not have open borders.
We do have open borders.
We do not have open borders. That's a ridiculous statement to say. Our borders
how do we have
not
20
open.
million? How do we have 20 million undocumented citizens in our country?
Because we
illegal
offer
immigrants.
asylum. We must offer asylum to, like, this is literally international law.
Maybe we should stop that, right? Build a wall. That sounds great.
Okay, so then let's go to the fucking, not the UN, the fucking, maybe it is, yeah, the United Nations, and then pull out of it then.
Do you support the wall?
Whatever, do I support the wall? Like,
yeah, the wall that we're going to build.
Wall? Not necessarily. There probably are a lot of more effective things we could be doing with our tax dollars, like homelessness or something like that, but...
You know what's crazy about that? When you say tax dollars, right? So the wall only costs like what, 8 billion or 60 billion, somewhere around there, right? It's not that much. So the amount that money illegals surpass that by hundreds of billions of dollars.
Aren't illegal. People aren't illegal.
Yeah, they are.
Like, no,
so when
they're
you
not.
cross,
They might.
when you break the law, you are considered a
They are not
illegal
illegal.
person.
They're like, you can say that their residence in America is illegal.
When wanted to vote for Harris.
Facts, but I also think that, for example, I think a lot of it is that a lot of people didn't vote. There's a lot of reasons why this happened, but like, for example, I'm not going to say that like that person just made the comment, like if someone speeds, they are now an illegalist, and that would be taking that person's entire identity and putting it onto that one act.
Yeah, I mean, if you break the law to get in the country, you're illegal, all right? Because you cross the like just how if you were trying to go to a different country,
You're not
they wouldn't let you in.
You're not understanding the law of America. Crossing the border isn't illegal. That's a misunderstanding.
So let me put it like this, Mav. Can you listen for 2 seconds? If you try to go to a different country, right, they will not let you in. You know why? Because they have borders, and you know why? They have a law, right? We're the only like country in the world that
there are countries that I could go to that I could say I am seeking a, and they would accept me. I'm pretty positive. I think New Zealand is one of them.
All right,
but I'm not sure.
Are you opposing doing that?
No, I think that asylum is a great thing. People, like, if they need to
So,
flee their country for
do you
safety
need
reasons,
asylum
they should
right
be able
now?
to do so.
You need asylum.
Me need asylum?
Do you want to go to a
As of
different
right
country?
now, not necessarily. I'm curious about it in case things become more threatening, or if I like lose access
You know what's
to medical
funny?
care or
So,
something, then I might have to.
if I have a question. So, if Trump makes the economy 100 times better than it is now, lowers prices of everything, right? Would you support him or no?
If he lowers prices,
If,
no.
if he
Like,
puts
if
more
you
money
lower
in your
price, if
pockets.
you okay, listen. If he puts more money in my pocket, but is still a misogynistic, xenophobic, sexist, I have a very.
He's not a misogynist because
so
you know
no.
he has children, he has women, he has a wife.
That doesn't
Why
matter.
do women
My
support
father
him
is a
then?
misogynist. My
Why
father is a
do
misogynist.
women support him then
That
if
doesn't
he's
make
such a
him,
misogynist?
and he has a wife. So
why did Trump get more women votes than Harris did if he's such a misogynist?
Because women can be misogynistic too.
Oh my lord! Come on! Give this, bro. Like, damn! Come on, bro. He's not a misogynist. He supports workers, hard workers. If you're a hard worker, he'll support you.
Supporting workers is not the same thing as misogyny. That's not misogyny.
So misogynist is like, oh, men are better. Women are so bad.
Right. That's not.
So he's been on stage and he has given women their props. He's never said women are below men. He's never said that. He's never said that women are below men.
You don't have to say it out loud to
Oh,
say
so
other
you're
things
assuming what he feels. You're assuming what he feels? Are you like a sidekick?
No, I'm not.
So you're assuming what he feels.
No. If it's been said that Trump is talking sexually about his daughter, I can.
Oh, that's what you go back to. You pivot back to him talking about. Come on, man. Come on. Stop being illogical.
You don't have things like that. Like if somebody does something, you're like.
Like, listen. You see, what's wrong with you is you're voting off emotion, right? I'm voting off policy, and there's like nobody's a perfect human being. Everybody makes mistakes. You're going like, oh, you did this. I can't vote for you. I'm voting for, hey, you can do this, you can do that. Bad.
But do you understand that they do the same thing? They say, "Oh my God,
Kamala Harris can't answer a question.
I can't vote for that because that's too scary." You
understand? Oh, she wants me to name a policy. All right, the border wall, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. We got write-offs for interest on vehicle loans. We got tariffs. We got there's just so much. I can't even name it all.
Yeah, he wants to do like more tariffs, which don't benefit the middle class.
Wants to do what?
Understand why that be beneficial. I said I'm pretty sure if I understood correctly that he wanted to increase tariffs, which is going to increase
tariffs.
Unless
So it creates
unless I
more
mistake.
jobs within the to America. That's what it does.
Okay.
And it's not talking about 200% tariffs. He's talking about tariffs on Chinese imports. And yes, the U.S. companies pay those tariffs, but therefore they would be encouraged to create it in our economy. And you know, since they're paying those tariffs and you say, oh, it'll increase the amount that we pay, that's why he's lowering the tax rate, right? So the cost that they would raise it, just cancels out because he lowers the taxes that companies would therefore pay.
Yeah. So like I said, I guess we will have to see what happens and if life just becomes magically better with Trump's economic policies, which I don't see how that would happen. Like I don't see how his policies.
Well, you might not
would,
see it,
for
but
example,
if Elon Musk
end war.
all right, let me put it like this: Elon Musk is way smarter than you, way smarter than me, right? He's gonna be in charge of the financial, burden, as Kamala Harris would say, on the U.S. economy, right?
Do you think that's a good? Like, do you think that having like a monopolizer? He's
not a monopolizer. He's a creator. In the car industry. How is he monopolizing, the rocket industry? I mean, he's not. He's creating things. He's an inventor almost. He's smart. Like, I don't know what you want me to say.
Okay.
He's productive.
Maybe he has.
Do you support free speech? Do you support free speech?
Do I support? Yeah.
Free speech. You do? Well, Kamala Harris wants to censor what you have to say on social media, false information. And if the government controls what is false information, we therefore don't have freedom of speech. So, I mean, it's a give or take.
That's already happening. So I don't understand why that's
no, it's not. That's why it's happening because you have Democrats and liberals censoring speech. That's why you have Facebook even came out and said that Democrats were reaching out to them.
These are private companies.
Like, yeah, but they're getting influenced by Democrats. Yeah, so Elon created a freedom of speech platform. Freedom of speech is key to democracy.
And there are plenty of other platforms.
Listen, like you haven't named anything good. All right, you haven't named anything that's like productive to America besides, oh, Kamala Harris would advocate for women. Oh, Trump. Oh, he thinks his woman is hot. Misogynist. Name one policy. That's why Kamala Harris lost. She lost because she can't name one thing that's gonna help us. Not one thing. Like, that's why she lost. Your own rhetoric that you're spitting out of your mouth is the reason why she lost. You can't be mad.
So do you think that she didn't also say all this stuff of she's gonna lower taxes?
She didn't say anything. She didn't say anything. All she said was Trump was Hitler.
What are you talking about? She did not.
What'd she say?
Well, I mean, actually, no. I don't know. That I'm not sure.
Oh, she's gonna give us $20,000 to put down on a home, but then it's gonna raise the home prices. Wow, that's so smart. Like, oh, we're gonna do price gouging. Oh, wow. You know what that's gonna do? Oh, raise prices even more. Nice. Oh, we wanna. What else did she say? Oh, we wanna do unrealized gains. Real smart. Let's do unrealized tax gains. So when you buy a house, you're gonna be so broke that you're paying unrealized taxes that you will be evicted from your house. Wow, what a great policy. Oh, we're gonna increase taxes for companies that create goods for us to buy. So therefore, oh, that raises our prices of goods again. Wow. We're gonna give to the people that don't work, right? So more people won't work. You're so smart, Kamala. You figured out the game. That's why she lost the election. Because she's so competent. I guess. And putting more Americans in jail for what she likes to do, and that is smoking the green. So, I mean, we can go back to that. Sure. Let's put more people in jail. This is why she lost.
Said they want to talk economics. So if they want to talk economics, they can talk economics. What are your thoughts?
So basically what I wanted to mention, since SK3 is mentioning economics here, I wanted to speak about TCJA. Do you know what that is?
You want to talk about what?
TCJA. It's the tax. It's basically the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. So Trump had a
Oh, that
policy
created way
on
more inflation. Okay.
TCJA.
Oh, I
All
thought you
right.
were talking
So,
about.
basically, with the TCJA and what Trump was actually planning for it. So, basically, for individuals extending, the TCJA would basically keep 7 ordinary tax brackets with TCJA thresholds and rates, and basically the top rate would be kept at 37%, which would be the 39, which would be versus against the 39.6% of the TCJA. My bad. I keep getting.
My phone's
And
about
so
to die.
basically,
But you're speaking about shit that doesn't even matter, right? Because
it does matter. The
the
TCJA
richest
actually
people,
does
the
matter.
richest people in the country, they pay the most taxes. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, look, first of all,
They
the
pay 90%
TCJA
of
does
the
matter. It matters
Americans.
for every individual.
Taxes. So like, what are you trying to say, VV? I mean, just wait and see. 100 days in, your prices might
You're not
look a
letting me
little
explain
bit
the
better.
TCJA.
I don't know.
Stop being
You
disrespectful,
get your
man.
information from Google. Like, you're talking to me about
No,
policy you
you'd
don't
be so
even know
surprised.
about.
Okay, so the TCJA, and what I was going to explain here is that the TCJA actually does matter because the TCJA is under the IRS, which the IRS controls a lot of taxing and etc. that go throughout the U.S. into each and every civilian. And I'm not a Democrat nor am I Republican. I just like to go into economics. So the TCJA, since it's under the IRS, it would directly affect every American citizen. So to say it doesn't matter doesn't make any sense because it literally says Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, jobs being a big thing. So, like for example, there's going to be a new deduction for qualified business income of pass-through entries, which I'm not sure if you guys know what that is, but it's the new provision, also known as Section 199A. Basically, it allow a deduction of to like 20% of a qualified business income for owners of some businesses, and that's going deeper into like the economic parts of it and how it's going to affect us.
No, just
Because
get to the point. What do you think is bad? All right, tell me what is bad, right? That we're
here's the
going to
thing.
get more tax cuts, or the fact that bringing business to America is going to create more jobs. I'm just confused.
Well, let me explain this too.
If
Let's
you're
go
gonna
on both
if you're
sides
gonna
here.
get more jobs in America and you do deductions, like what's so bad about that?
Actually, the thing is, the thing I'm reading about is from Trump. That is his policy of what he was planning to do, a part of the TCJA.
Tax deductions? That's bad.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just reading both parts here. For Kamala, basically for her planning and what she was going to do, actually. So with the deductions of businesses, etc., instead of that, she was basically going to increase the corporate income tax from 21% to 28%, which isn't too bad if you think
Yeah,
about
that's
it. It's not
bad.
like she's going up to like
That's bad, right?
40.
Trump's it's gonna go from 21% to 15% under Trump. So it's better for us. You know why? Because we're gonna have tariffs and we're gonna treat America like a business,
Wait, how
right?
is that better?
And the lower taxes they pay, the better deals we can get as citizens. I mean, you're just reading off deals we can get as citizens. I mean, you're just reading off a prompt that some probably libtard put out. I mean, I don't really
Actually,
care.
reading is from all I'm reading, all my knowledge I've gotten
Kamala
has been from
Harris,
government
guess
websites
what,
and from
BB?
both sides.
Guess what, BB? No. You're reading. Listen, yo, BB. Just listen real quick. You're reading a prompt about Kamala Harris's policies. Well, guess what? Kamala Harris's policies don't fucking matter. At the end of the day, they don't fucking matter. You're gonna enjoy.
I'm going to say this. I'm not a Kamala supporter. I've been said I'm not Democrat nor am I Republican. I am way off from both on the political spectrum. But
what I'm hearing is you're not that smart, right? You're reading what somebody has.
Okay.
I'm not reading down. I'm reading Trump policies. I'm reading Kamala's policies. I'm discussing both policies, and you keep targeting me over Kamala's when we are not recognizing that both sides bring up good policies.
Stop.
For example, even with the corporate, tax income increased and stuff like that, it's not going to be that bad. With 7% up, that money could actually be re-put into society in some way. Even though we may lack the tariffs
Nikki,
like
you're not
Trump has
understanding.
planned, the
She's gonna
money we
raise
make.
taxes. She's gonna raise taxes that include price. Think a little bit.
I'm not
So
reading
I
just from the
guess
prompt, but
what I
consider
would
this.
want is A3. Like, I guess all of us are guilty. All of us are guilty of repeating rhetoric that we hear. I think your
What the
position,
fuck
like
we
he's not even
talking about?
attacking your position. He's not even attacking your
No, I
position.
know
He's
he's
just
not.
saying
I know
stuff.
he's not. But
But you're
it's
like
not
attacking him
logical.
for, like, I don't know
I'm not
why you're
attacking
acting
him.
like this. Yes, you
I'm
are.
not.
You keep
I'm
making
really
all these
not. I'm just
statements.
saying it's
I
dumb.
don't barely even know what he said.
Okay, well, I'm saying it's dumb to read from this like little script he's reading off. But like if you're gonna talk about raising taxes for companies, then not include that she's going to price gouge and ultimately lower the or higher the cost of goods. Like, what does this policy even matter?
I have a question. Do you know how offshore production works?
Yeah, it's like slave labor and you get it for cheaper, right?
No. So offshore production is basically when they go over to either third world countries or countries with no minimum wage. And turns out it's not actually slavery for those people because they live off the money that they make from our companies, which come from the US, because our currency is worth a lot more than theirs. So to us, $100 is going to be more to them.
Yeah, okay, but you know what's wrong with that, right? Because these companies or these countries that do that same thing, they won't allow Americans to go over there and create businesses, right? So it's like an unfair thing. So that's when tariffs come in.
No, actually, it's not an unfair thing. If you look at it, there's a thing actually called the Exclusive Economic Zone, the EEZ, and then there's also other offshore production companies that come from the U.S. We have had companies in Indonesia, Vietnam, China, Taiwan. We've had
Oh my
companies there. We've
gosh,
had
we don't
we
have
have
countries
countries
in
and we
China.
have like a lot of businesses in a lot of places that you won't think about. Even for example, in like Malaysia and Brunei, we have offshore companies there that come from the US and they start their businesses there because they know that there's no exact minimum wage or there's no exact strictly payment or
Wow,
taxes and etc.
you're in support of other companies benefiting off us spending our money. Wow. But Donald Trump wants those
That's not
companies
what I said.
to
I'm speaking
no,
about the
Donald Trump wants and produce a product, which therefore would.
well, you see, I'm gonna
Are you
explain my
for
standpoint
slave
where I
labor?
come from.
Are you for slave labor? Are you for that? Honestly.
No, that's not what I said. Nor did I think I
Oh,
support it.
that's not what you
What
said, but that's
I'm
what
gonna
you
say
said.
here,
Oh, go cry, go cope.
Like,
SK.
like SK, you've been coping more and whining more.
I have no reason to cope. Like I said, I'm gonna sit
That's
back and
why I'm
enjoy the
wondering.
ride. Yeah.
That's why I'm wondering why you're doing this in the first place. Because like nobody's fighting you, but you're fighting
It's
everyone.
like what you're saying is just coping. You're like, oh no, Kamala Harris, she lost. Oh.
Well, I would like
Like
to
it's
explain where
hilarious.
I'm coming from
Oh
in
my
my
Like,
God.
for example,
No, Trump.
you
Trump,
asked
he said
about
his daughter's
what Kamala's
beautiful.
policies are.
Oh
You
no.
asked.
Trump said his daughter's beautiful. Oh no. Oh shit.
Okay, SK, I would like to explain where I come from. So politically, I do believe in more that we should do a lot more domestic production. I do believe that we should have a lot more companies come back to the U.S. That's actually one of my beliefs economically. But I do not disagree with offshore production completely because the offshore production can be useful to these other nations. And basically, think about this, right? If we are paying them, not with our currency exactly, but paying them higher wages than probably what other jobs in their nations will, we also support those people getting jobs for
Okay, well
one, and secondary, we
before
also
you finish, let me
support,
ask you this.
their
Do you
livelihood and
support
their lives.
offshore production when they don't carry our currency?
Offshore production won't use U.S. currency in other nations. That's like
Oh wow,
that's like a
wow.
Russian company going to America and using the ruble, even though it's the U.S. dollar
But
over
who the
here.
fuck does that? What
That's
Russian
companies. It's
business
fucking
comes to America?
economics. It is fucking economics. There's nothing else to explain.
No Russian company comes to America.
Yes, there is. There are Russian companies that come to America. What do you not get about this? The business world has nothing to do with fucking politics that much unless someone directly affects them. If Trump were to start off
He's
it,
gonna
and they're
cut
going to be
off.
forced to come back to the homeland and not use foreign currency.
Has he said he's gonna cut him off completely? Did he say it's gonna be illegal?
I'm giving a hypothetical. I didn't even say he would. I'm giving a hypothetical. In every situation.
Hypotheticals. I'm not in the world in business and doing hypotheticals, right? We're talking about facts here. Oh, he's gonna ban. Let's talk about what's happening.
Whole thing, and because companies within India that actually hire Indians to work for them because India has a better tech industry than us. India actively has more people to train into the tech industry because we lack in it. We fucking suck at tech.
That's very true.
Just because we have a heavily modernized military or a heavily modernized society doesn't mean we're 100% in every field.
Listen, we depend on other countries. That's why
we do not. I need to realize something. We do not depend on.
Are you saying we don't depend on China?
Okay, think about this, right? The world has so many resources located within Africa, Southern America, Central America, Caribbean. There's more than just China. I hope you know this. We don't depend on China 100% forever.
I don't think
what it sounds like to me, you sound more like a Chinese sympathizer than you do sound like a Trump supporter.
I think that they do definitely matter. It sounds like VV is
it doesn't matter what he's talking about.
Couple of perspectives of about how the world works, and once again, has not challenged any of Trump's positions a ton. So I'm not sure why you're.
I've defended him. Listen, all you have to do, right?
That's what I'm wondering. What are you defending right now?
So I'm defending his policies on how tariffs and lower taxes would work.
I'm explaining the economics behind it, though.
Right.
So what makes you qualified to explain it? Because you looked it up? Come on, bro. Just let the politicians
I have been studying economics for 3 years.
You've been studying. Do you have any on-hand knowledge of it, or you just study it?
Hold on. I have studied 3 years of my life on American economics. Then I studied about the world.
You might not be the smartest one in the books, right? You might read it, but you might read it, but you don't retain the information. It doesn't seem like. You just said earlier, if I would listen to you rather than a person that actually does it,
I have a question. Do you know how people study in?
That actually does it.
I have a question. Do you know how people study in school?
They read books.
Yes.
Take notes?
Yes.
And they listen to a professor that has no real world knowledge on how the shit works.
Why would someone become a professor in economics and business without knowing how economics and business works?
Name one professor. Listen. Name one professor in economics that runs a business.
Almost all of them, even if it's small business. What would
name be one professor in economics that runs a multi-million-dollar business? Can you name one, please, and thank you?
Oh my God, dude! I had a fucking professor run a small business. Doesn't matter big or not. All right.
Oh yeah, it does.
So you're telling me a small business isn't?
I run a small business.
Good enough?
Do I get cross-country transactions and production? No, because I'm a small business. I don't go overseas to get product because guess what?
Do you know why you're a small business?
Huh?
No, I mean, you can make more than that, but you're not utilizing your money enough, and you're not getting out enough connections and etc. I mean, that's the whole
So
point why you're a
a
small
small
business.
business is considered. That's basically a small business. You can make $1 million a year and be like, oh, I'm still a small business. You realize that, right?
A small
So
business will
you're a
not be
small
making
business.
millions.
Listen. Let me explain this better for you. You're a small business until you're a corporation. So until you're a corporation, you're a small business.
All right. So, one, I would like to mention
Are you
business
saying
types
I'm
as you
wrong?
were saying,
Are you saying I'm wrong?
small businesses, etc. I'm saying along with you, but explaining the businesses and etc. Have you ever heard of like a LLC
Yeah, I mean,
and all that?
do you know the 3 different types of
Do you
LLC?
know what the LLC is? That's all I'm asking. Please tell me, do you know what the LLC is?
Yeah, I do.
What's the
Okay.
LLC? Please tell me.
Limited liability company. Come on now.
Okay, thank you. I onto that. Then you also have like partnerships and sole partnerships and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Your business is small.
So
Ability making
it's
business.
actually
I mean,
LLC. It's actually LLC partnership and S corp. So or in C corp. So I thought you should know that.
you know, but are you?
So if it's not a
How would I
corporation,
put
what do you
this?
call it? If it's not a corporation, what do you call it? I don't know. I gotta look
Corporation
it up.
can
Go back
make
to my book.
millions.
Or corporation is a little bit like
There's no in
I
between.
feel like it's so generalization because there's no like exact of what we can call a business, and depending on how much it makes, though, that's the only way we can say.
Exactly. So it's still considered a small business unless you're a corporation.
it kind of is limited in its scope.
So that's why they have different tax
employees
brackets, right?
or of
You're a small business, but you make less money, so you have a lower tax, right? But once you start becoming a bigger small business, you get higher tax cuts or you get higher tax. All right, that's why they have taxes. If you make 20 million, you're a corporation basically.
I have a question. What type of business do you run?
I'm a contractor.
Like electrician stuff, all that.
Just depends.
They do like a little bit of everything.
Well, I'm not a contractor in the sense of a what is it, blue collar job. It is a blue collar job, but it's really not. Contracting as in, medical, auto parts, shit like that.
Like, like, can you explain your jobs a bit? Like,
Wait, are you a contracted employee or are you like a contractor? I think
I'm a
that's what people are-
contractor, right? I take up contracts and I fulfill that job.
I'm an electrician. I just work under somebody. I mean, that's what I do.
Okay. But you're not a
I mean, yeah,
contractor. You don't own your own business, right? But the person above you that you work for owns their own business, a small business, right? Or are they like a big business? Oh, are they a?
I hope you know that the people I work for make a lot of money, and I'm
So
creating my
what are
own
they
business
considered? What are
on
they
my
considered
own.
right now? What are they considered? Are they considered a small business?
They're a big business if you would put into it.
They're a big business. There's no such thing. Oh, they're a big business. So you're saying there's a small business with higher taxes?
No, they're a big business because they make more money than your shitty ass contracting job.
Okay, cool. I mean, you work for somebody. It must suck.
That doesn't matter if I work for
Most
somebody.
fucking
I'm
sus,
getting probably
this.
paid 10 times more. I don't want to hear nothing, dog.
Bro, you still gotta punch a clock. Why are you talking to me?
I make my own hours.
Yeah.
Oh, but you work for somebody. That's absurd.
That doesn't matter if I work for somebody.
Oh, but if you don't clock in, you don't make money. If you don't work, you make no money.
Dude, I have other jobs besides an electrician. Like I have so many things I do. I have like 2 jobs, man. 2.
Oh, man. Well, you get 2 jobs. That's great. I thought you make buku
Yeah,
money on the first job. So why would you have 2?
because I want extra money and I just want more money.
But why? If that one job makes you a lot of money, why have 2 jobs?
Because I love money. I just love money, dog.
It's confusing, right? If your main job makes you the most money, why have a second job?
Because I love money. I want extra money. Also because I play D&D and stuff like that. It's an expensive hobby.
D&D, what is that?
I make my own minifigures.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
That's not. There's nothing weird about
You
it.
know,
Okay.
You see the difference in response there? I was
whatever,
like,
whatever,
damn, that's impressive that you make your own figures.
whatever floats your butt, whatever floats your boat. I'm not judging
Whatever
you,
floats
but
my
like,
ass is a crazy sentence I've
I
never
love
heard
that.
in a day
Whatever
of my
I
floats
life.
your
said whatever
butt.
floats your boat.
And on
Your
that
Oh,
note,
boat,
guys,
boat.
and on that note, we do have to wrap up the conversation.
okay.
Yeah,
Any closing thoughts?
I gotta make money. I gotta make big boy money. I don't need 2 jobs. You know, my main job, supports me fair and well.
Congrats.
You can have
Thanks for
fun.
that.
You can have fun making little figurines. Maybe.
Okay, good. What's your closing thought?
All right. Oh. My closing point, my closing talk, guys, look into economics sometimes, study about it a bit, go over, look at each person's policies, never be one-sided, always have an open mind to all policies and ideals, and enjoy your hobbies and love yourself. All right, that's all I got.
Okay, I
You can take me off
can
now.
deal with that one. I can deal with that one. Thanks a lot. All right, dude. And this is why I don't always do panels because it's stressful. But that was at least slightly entertaining. But like I said, even the response for that was like, "You were such a hater." But hey, like I said, I've mentioned several times, I would be just as much of a hater. You know what I'm saying? I would be just as much of a dick if Trump Kamala won. Just I'm gonna be straight up. You know what I mean? Um, I'm shallow like that. Uh, at least I would have a little bit. So I understand. But no, 70s Ken. I really did not. I did not think that she was gonna win. I had doubted it from the second, like I said, like was it like a month, like a month into her campaign, when I was like, I don't think she's gonna do it. I was like, I was open to being pleasantly surprised, but I was not surprised at all. Like I said, I was a little surprised that it was. I was a little surprised that it was as spread out as it was. That was my only surprising thing. Um, at least Blue, I think that it did erase that comment. So Blue's on YouTube. All right. Thanks guys for hanging out a little bit. We're wrapping up for the day, and let me know on if you did watch this on YouTube. Let me know if this was anything enjoyable or useful. And ever coping over there. Opinion. Yeah, we have pretty similar opinions in the Discord server. So people have different opinions. Welcome to join. Welcome to share your perspectives and thoughts and disagree with some of the people and make fun of us or something like that. I'm open to different types of people being over there. So appreciate you guys. And like I said this yesterday that today was gonna be my last, or yesterday was gonna be my last live stream, but then I ran into some time today, and I'm probably gonna be packing tomorrow. Probably if I'm here tomorrow, then that means I was finished packing and I was responsible and gave myself enough time to come back and talk. Um, but yeah, this was at least pretty interesting. We'll continue having these conversations. And like both of the other guests said, I know only one of them said to love yourself. So listen to that. I'm going to Nicaragua uh, for a wedding. I'll be gone for like a weekish. So, uh, as I said last time, if anyone asks, I'm not dead. Uh, hopefully, that would suck. That would suck. And I was thinking about people who like go on vacation, like go, what's that called? Like go fucking zip lining and like, you know. And I think okay, I'm thinking of the okay. I have like 1 minute. I have that episode of The Office where Toby, I think he went to like he went to Costa Rica, and he like it was like his second day, and he was like in a full body cast. Do you remember that? That's what I'm worried about. So hopefully I do not end up in a full body cast outside of America, just because that would be annoying, probably. But yeah, so pray that I don't pray. Goodness gracious. Send me positive energy. Maybe do a spell or something so that I don't die. Anyone who has a candle or something like that, do that. Pray for me, and I swear I'm coming for you. Just I'm joking. I don't care that much. Do whatever you want.